And of course, a big tank is going to take a lot longer to maintain than a smaller tank. This is Phantom down here. Hello fella. Peterlees convert really well underwater. You can see there, look at their roots. I thought that was your favourite view of this tank. Well, yeah, oh, sorry guys. Okay, here he is, look. So look, yeah, just brushing it gently. What's going on guys, and welcome back to the vlog. So what's better, nano tanks or big tanks? I suppose better actually, well, not the fish, but better is not the right way to put it. There are so many pluses and minuses to each that could be favourable for you in your situation. So for instance, space might be a big determining factor, and then obviously you are just limited to a nano tank. I suppose you can split things up into three categories. We've got nano, we've got small, which is kind of what I would call like the top end of nano, and then you've got big tanks. Now, one of the really good things about a proper nano tank is costs. The cost is always going to be lower. I mean, that is if you don't like put some really high-end light on it and load of CO2 injection, that sort of thing. I mean, then it's going to ramp up the cost, but still proportionately, so it won't be like huge compared to a big tank. So obviously nano tanks initially are the cheapest, but it doesn't make them the easiest, because sometimes with a small volume of water, it's actually harder to get things right than if you've got a big volume of water. It's just more forgiving. I'm sure many of you have heard this before, but some of you might have not. If you get your lighting right with a big tank, you're pretty much going to be absolutely fine. You won't get any problems, providing you don't put a million fish in there and a tiny little filter. It's been done, all right? Well, not by me. I mean, the most stocked fish tank I've got is my Amazon aquarium, and that doesn't get any algae, and you know, really good tank.
Life is what you make it. I feel like amazing. I can't see a way out. I've been stacking face down off canvases I painted. I just spent the rain day on drip I can't afford, but that's the price I pay for the memories I'm making. I've been going places. I've been shaking hands for a chance to really make it. This life is
so out here we have got my plant storage tanks. Now these are 60 centimeters across, which is 2 foot, and I think they're like a foot high and a foot back, something like that. Anyway, these tanks are really good because they just allow you to do lots of different things. You can pack them full of hardscape or plants or whatever you want really, but there's also a massive range of fish that you can choose to put in a tank this size. You know, it's not too small, and the lights aren't expensive. There's a ton of range of lights. You can get really expensive ones to cheap ones. I mean, that's the same with any different size tank, to be honest. I've just got some cheap hang on the back filters on the top, and then just some cheap internal filters on the bottom. And yeah, look, all these, I'll leave a link for these lights and filters and stuff. They're all cheap ones, like kind of like they're branded, but they're like your generic stuff that people put, like a white label product is what I'm trying to say. So they're not expensive at all, and they work really well. They don't work as good as the expensive ones, of course they don't, but they still work really well. So yeah, to do a little setup like this, I mean, obviously just one of these is not very expensive at all. The term expensive is obviously relative, but if you've got an aquarium, it's a luxury item anyway, so I'm assuming you've got a certain level of disposable income. So let's be real here. The most fun you're gonna have is with like a bigger tank. There's nothing better than coming in and seeing stuff change. Stuff still changes on the nano aquarium, don't get me wrong, but like in one view you sort of see it all, whereas in a bigger tank you've got to look around, hunt for different things, and that can be really interesting. And obviously a bigger tank means there's more chance of you having a variety of fish. And let's face it, a tank comes to life from the fish that are in it. Or shrimp, don't get me wrong, shrimp as well. A lot of shrimp fans out there. I'm a fan of both, so we're all good there. And of course, a big tank is going to take a lot longer to maintain than a smaller tank. Now luckily I set most of my tanks up so they don't actually require a lot of maintenance. You know, I pack them for the plants, so that does all the sort of water quality for me. I don't have to do anything apart from a water change, maybe 20, 30, 40% every month, something like that, for established tanks that is. New setups, you just got to keep doing those water changes just to get that balance sorted. After the balance is sorted, it'll take care of itself. So that goes for nanos and big tanks though. Once they're balanced, it's actually like really smooth sailing after that. 100% though, I think, even though they're harder, a nano is a good start. Like, even if you don't want to go for a 60 centimeter, just get a little cube or something. I think if you start to get success with that, and remember, lighting is pretty much part of the success. Don't go with a heavy blasting light to start with, because you won't know what to do. You'll end up in algae and that'll be it, quit. Now just get a medium level light or even a low level light, low level plants, and just enjoy it for the time being, and you guaranteed be hooked, and you'll just be on the second tank, maybe the same, stepping up, I don't know. You probably even move house so you can accommodate a bigger tank. Or do what I did and just get 2 studios and fill them up with tanks. So here is my Peterlee aquarium. Many of you have seen this recently in the full tour of the studio. This is Phantom down here. Hello fella. Peterlees convert really well underwater. You can see there, look at their roots. coming all forwards. Those are from the Peterlee, so they obviously love water. So I'm currently just taking apart the bowl aquarium. It's got loads of nice hair grass in there. I'm going to save all of that, and also I've saved the bonsai tree as well with all the Monte Carlo in. It's in my plant grow out tank. Maybe use it another time, another scape. I'll probably just take the Monte Carlo off and save that, to be honest. Click subscribe. So yeah, that is one of the main things I'm going to be doing today, but just because you start a new project doesn't mean the work everywhere else in the studio stops. Oh, no. So we've got these two tanks here. We've got the Apistogramma black water. I'll get some close-ups in a minute. And this is the Platy aquarium. Now it's looking a bit grimy. There's quite a lot of sort of diatoms, I guess, and dust algae dotted around. It needs a nice big water change, a little bit of a scrub up. And on this tank here, the Apistogramma one, well, it's all new, so it does need regular water changes. We need to do a nice big water change, which will remove some of the tannins, but that's okay, they'll all come back. Plus I've got the tea that you saw in the last vlog, so I can just pour it back in again. Right, so water drained out. You can see that I've drained the Platy tank right down. I'm noticing a lot of algae in this one. It's probably because there's not a lot of fast growing plants. It's mainly like big ferns at the back there, Anubias, that kind of thing. There's obviously some stems at the front, and then we've got the Glossostigma foreground plant. So I guess a lot of the nutrients aren't being used, and these are pretty bright lights, to be fair. So what I'm going to do is add a little bit of black tape, this is going to go bad, to the underside of this, just to take out some of the light, because I think then we'll be absolutely fine. At the moment it's just too much, especially for such a new setup. So I've not reduced the water so much on this side because it doesn't need it. Top it back up again and probably add some more tannins in. Sorry, tannins. Add some more tannins. I did it again. Tannins in. Oh my goodness. Okay, adding the tape there has made a big difference. It probably doesn't show it on the camera because the camera adjusts to the lighting, so if it goes darker it brightens everything, but yeah, it's made a good difference. It's still at a really good level though, so hopefully we won't have to adjust it again, but if we do, we do. That's what it's like, you know, if you've got these low-tech tanks like I do with just basically a light and water and a filter obviously as well, then you've got to make adjustments somewhere. You can't raise the CO2 level or lower it or anything like that, can you? So the only variable you can really do is the light. If you're getting lots of algae, adjust the light. I've told you guys this before, it's always important to start the setup to get that right, and then you've got an easy time moving forwards. So yeah, the water change definitely removed some of the tannins from the Apistogramma tank. I'm saying Apistogramma, all we can see at the moment is the glow lights. Where are they? Okay, there's the female. She's hiding and pecking at something down there. I don't know what. The male has actually been coming out a lot more. And as I say that, he's obviously not out. But yeah, I think that's a good level of tannins. More will be released, so I'm not going to add any of the tea this time. Hey, here he comes, the male. Look, right in the middle. Come on then, come out a little bit further. Look at that. Oh, he's awesome. So I'm glad I put that green in there. Some people were saying don't put, remove the green plant. It's, what's it called? Milfoil, yeah. Some people were saying remove it, but I really like it. I think it just adds another sort of element to the whole tank. And again, as the tannins get more and more, it'd be nice to have something else in the background that, you know, separates it, if you like. So I also removed a ton of the floating plants. Within a week, this whole thing has been covered, and probably have to remove more than that, to be honest. Yeah, I'm going to take another scoop out of that. Growing so fast underneath that light. It's a decent light, like I say, it's high power, so everything grows fast, including algae. If you're not set up for high-tech systems, whatever, you've got to adjust it. They don't have an adjustment to the power of them. You can buy some apparently, but I just prefer to put the black tape. You can't really see it, can you? No, you can't see it at all. Kind of can see the edge of it from there across. Yeah, just a strip of black electrical tape, and that has blocked out a good, I'd say I've taken 30 to 40% of the light down. I might need to add more. I might need to take some off. Who knows? I know the plants will grow really well at this light though, so I know I don't need to add more, that's for sure, but I might need to reduce it slightly if we're still getting algae. Woohoo! So here's where we're at with the build so far. Some of you would have seen this on my Instagram. I uploaded a picture of this. It's looking so good. It's really going to turn out great. I can already tell it. The thing is, once you get a good hardscape like I've got here, you can't really go wrong with it. I'm going to start planting in a minute, but I'm really looking forward to showing you guys the build video for this. If it all goes to plan, which I think it will, to be honest. So far, so good. So many of you would have seen in one of my recent build videos, which I did here actually, which is quite funny because in the comments some people were like, well, I thought that was your favourite view of this tank. Well, yeah, oh, sorry guys. Yeah, it is my favourite view of the tank, and I was just like setting up a build area. It was mainly because where I wanted to put the actual tank full time would have looked like silly trying to build there, and yeah, it just wouldn't work, so I did it here. But now it's across in its own area. Come and take a look. So here is where it's set up, guys. I got it all looking good. It's like I say, it's not like a really bright setup. It's not. That's not really why I've done it. It's like to sit here as a like water sculpture, and I think we're killing that. It looks so good. So I did have the little desk lamp that I built it with. If you keep it on a desk, you could use that. But I had this spare one, and yeah, it's just downlighted it nicely. Give good light to. It'll give good light to the piece of lily, and it also illuminates the bottom area enough as well. Let me bring you over. Oh, there we go. Look at that. It looks so good, didn't it? Like I say, not really bright, but just enough. Like the plants will still grow really well from the amount of light we've got there. So we've got the cherry shrimp down there, look. Because it's a bowl, it's a little bit hard to sort of pick them up in focus, but I'm trying my best. And you know, we've also got the plants here. So we've got the Rotala HR, the Hydrocot Japan, a little bit of Anubias as well. Anubias, a low light plant, so it'll be absolutely fine. And the rest of the plants here, well, they do like higher light, but they'll be absolutely fine with the low light. What you tend to find is that they'll just go sort of like a paler colour rather than a really bright green or a bright red or whatever. It won't change too much from how it is now, but the peace lilies are the star of the show, aren't they? If you step back, they will get bigger than that. Like they're probably like double in size. Well, I'm hoping they will anyway. Hang on, let me just change this camera settings because it actually looks duller than it actually is. That's more like what I'm seeing now. Okay, that's good. Oh, a lot of you are actually asking as well, what's going on with this wood? Well, I was going to put it in a tank, but I've been reading up some horror stories, and Serpa Design, for instance, put it in one of his toad tanks before he put any livestock in there, and it made the water go foul. I mean, apparently you're supposed to leave it to set up for 3 months before you add fish. I mean, ain't nobody got time for that. So yeah, I'm unsure what to do. At some point, I think it might be a great piece to put on a wall, like as like a centerpiece behind some tanks or something. Maybe not this. That's an idea. I could use it on the new aquarium that's going here. So the ecosystem aquarium, I'm starting to build very shortly after this, guys. And in that whole section, we're going to have a 4-foot tank. So it might look really cool to just do something with that for the lighting, maybe, or just maybe mount it or so. I don't know. Oh, that's got me thinking now. But yeah, that'd look really cool, wouldn't it? I can see you over here. He keeps running backwards and forwards. Oh, we've got some algae on the front of those rocks. I'll get that cleaned up in a minute. A little bit of algae on your shell as well. If you guys ever want to clean a turtle shell, it's fine. You can just get a soft toothbrush and you can take them out and just give them a little scrub up. They don't mind at all, so that's all good. I might do that in a minute as well. Maybe I should show you. Yeah, let me show you. Timmy, Timmy, Timmy. Come on, little fella. Come here. Oh, there we go. He'll go in his shell as well. Look, he always does that. There we go. So look, yeah, just brushing it gently, nice and smoothly. Do not get it on his face at all. He will go into his shell. Am I getting him on camera? I think I am. But yeah, you can just gently brush it. They don't mind it. Remember guys, I've kept turtles for a long time previously. I've kept turtles for like 11 years. So I had my other ones for 9 years. I've had Timmy now for 1.5 years. Something like that. Is it 1.5 years? No, it's a year. 10 years. We've had 10 years I've had experience now with the turtles. So look, he's just, Timmy is the most chill turtle ever. Look, he doesn't even bite. He could quite easily just bite my finger off. He's not interested. So yeah, just gently brush like this. Like I say, try and be sure not to sort of get the bristles in his face. You can see there's some of the algae coming off. It's completely normal. I mean, you should see the state these turtles get in the wild. Oh, let me turn him around and do the other side. There we go. All getting you clean, Timmy. I really want to get that front bit, so I'm just be careful and just try not to get his face. There we go. Okay, right, he's all clean. I'm going to put him back. Oh, there we go. Okay, so ordinarily you want to put him on something and not straight in the water, but he kind of jumped out my hand. He's all good, look. Bless your little heart. I am fully capable of cleaning myself. Oh, look, you didn't even do a good job. Look at the top of me, I'm still so dirty. Sorry, Timmy. Okay, right, I'll do that again in a minute when off camera, when I can see what I'm doing properly.
Life is what you make it. I feel like amazing. I can't see see a way out. I've been stacking face down off canvases I painted. I just spent the rain day on drip I can't afford, but that's the price I pay for the memories I'm making. I've been going places, I've been shaking hands for a chance to really make it. This life is so abrasive, so I